we shall see some logical arguments and its proof. And to show that so and so logical argument is true, we will make use of well known equivalences and implications which we have seen before and derived in a couple of our earlier sessions. Let's look at this example. Some real numbers are rational and all rational numbers are not irrational. Therefore, some real numbers are not irrational. So, given a logical argument like this, the first step that one should do is convert this into a formal representation using first order logic, predicate logic. Then see using start simplifying by making use of well known implications and equivalences and see whether this conclusion follows from this premise. Okay, so let's do it one by one. So the first thing is, let me translate this into a first order logical expression. There exists x which is real of x and rational of x. Okay, so x belongs to universe of discourse, and what is that? That's basically set of numbers. You pick an element, that could be an integer, that could be rational, that could be real, that could be complex. So we define a predicate R of x that says x is real, and this predicate says x is a rational number. Okay, and the next one is all rational numbers are, for all x, rational of x implies not irrational. So not, when I say irrat of x, which means x is irrational, because not irrational, so I am having this. So given these two, so question says, therefore there exists x which is real and not irrational. So now we want to know whether this conclusion follows logically from these two. Okay, so to talk about this, what we will do is, so the first step is convert this into FOL. Then what I will do is, to simplify these expressions, I will convert them into ZOL. So ZOL through something called instantiation. Okay, something like this. So if you have, there exists x p of x, I'll do something called existential, because it is existential quantifier. So existential instantiation, you instantiate, so you take a specific value from the predicate. Say I instantiate with respect to some value, say x is equal to a, something like x is p of x is good. You ask whether COE 19B001 is good, and p of x is say x is real. You take the first element and you ask whether x is real, and p of x represents x is irrational. You take the first element and ask whether x is irrational. But you can take any element, and do it. So let me take some element. So x is equal to a. So when I instantiate on existential instantiation, there exists x, p of x becomes or implies you get P of A. So it's a predicate, and predicate becomes a proposition. So FOL becomes ZOL. Okay. And why? Just to bring well-known implications and equivalences to simplify expressions. And on the similar line, you have something called universal instantiation. So when you perform UI on for all x P of x, for all x P of x becomes P of A. Okay. Please note existential, so which means this A is for some A. This is universal, so this A is for any A. And so when you instantiate, the predicate is true with respect to some A, and you pick that, and so it becomes P of A. And this one is true for any A because it's universal quantifier, so you can choose any A. Okay, so on the similar line, now this was a predicate, first order logic becomes ZOL proportional logic. On the similar line, look at the quantifier and see whether I should go for existential instantiation or universal instantiation. Okay, so take this. So when you do EI, it becomes R of A and rat of A. Okay, this is for some A. Now for this, what happens? On existential instantiation you get this, on universal instantiation we get rat of A implies negation irrat of A. This is universal, so this is true for any A in the universe of discourse. Okay, so now we need to show that given these two, and the conclusion is R of A and negation irrat of A for some A. Okay, please note when you have multiple existential quantifiers, the A that you choose here may be different from the A that you choose here, because it is true with respect to some A. Because it is true with respect to some A, the A that you choose with respect to the first one may be different from the A that you choose over here. And this one is true with respect to any A. So given a logical argument of this type, the first task is to write first order logic using existential quantifier and universal quantifier. And please note, when we use there exist, we use and, when we use for all, we use implication, and subsequently this is what we need to conclude from this. Now to simplify this, what we do is we convert the given FOL into ZOL through instantiation, something that we have seen before but we are revisiting now. For an existential quantifier, I perform something called existential instantiation, and so I instantiate this predicate with respect to some element in the universe of discourse. That's what this says. So on EI, for some A, there exists x P of x becomes P of A. And instead of saying there exists x P of x, now you are asking is A satisfying the predicate P. And now universal instantiation is again very similar to this. For all x, p of x implies p of a. Over here it is true for some a, over here it is true for any a. And following this scheme, and FOL is converted into ZOL. Now it is a proportional logic. We will see how to simplify this with what we have seen before. Okay. So now you are given R of A and rat of A. So please note P and Q implies P. Similarly, P and Q implies Q. It's a tautology. These are all well-known implications we have seen before. Or refer scribe, there is a table where you will see this. So which means from this I can get R of A. I can also get the rat of A. Fine. So this implies this, and this also implies this. Okay. So this, let me call it as 1. This, let me call it as 2. And so we have rat of A implies irrat of A. Correct? This is something we have seen before. P and P imply Q implies Q is a tautology. P is one proposition, P imply Q is another proposition, P and P imply Q is Q. That's a tautology. Okay. Now from this we got these two. We already have this. Remember, as I told you before, it is a sequence of statements. So which means implicitly there is a logical AND. This and this implies this. And so similarly, when I make sequence of statements one after another, from this I get this. So from this I get this. And so which means this and this, this and this. So like that the argument proceeds. Now what we have, this is my 3, this is given. Now apply this rule, and rat is my P, rat of A is my P, rat of A is P, irrat of negation of this is Q, P and P imply Q is Q. So you get negation irrat of A, which is 4. Okay. Now, so please note, listen carefully, R of A and rat of A, following this implication, I am getting R of A and rat of A. They are all connected with logical AND. Then from this I am getting rat of A imply irrat of A. So rat of A and rat of A imply irrat of A, P and P imply Q. So I am getting this. Okay, very important. This is true for some A. Okay, this one is true for any A. Okay, now you have combined these two. You have combined for some A and any A, and you got this. How did we get this? This is from item number 2 and item number 3. So which means this is for some A, this is for any A, and once you combine them, this is true for some A. So true for some A. Okay. Now you have 1 from 1 and 4. I can write R of A and negation irrat of A. So now from 2 and 3 we got this. We already have real number R of A, and what we have derived is irrational. So this is what we have. This is what we are supposed to show, and this is true for some A. Correct? Now, just like you have instantiated and then simplified to prove your claim, now I want to go back from ZOL to FOL. So FOL to ZOL is through instantiation. Now you are done with the proving the argument. Once it is proved, you should go back to the predicate, that is existential. You are generalizing it. Generalization and universal generalization. So which means on existential generalization, this becomes there exists X, R of X and irrat of X. So when you want to prove things, so to simplify, we convert FOL to ZOL. And once you are done with simplifying the expression, generalize it, go back to the parent FOL. Okay. I just repeat this part to have good clarity on what we did. So R of A and rat of A, this can be split into two propositions. One is R of A and rat of A. That's what this tautology says. Then you have P and P imply Q. This tautology says you can derive Q. So take that. You have already derived 2, which is rat of A. Just now you got negation irrat of A, and these two can be combined, so you get this. And as far as proportional logic is concerned, or when we are in the zone where FOL has become ZOL through instantiation, yes, the claim follows, but we want to go back to the parent, which is FOL. So use something called existential generalization, because this claim is true for some A. If this claim is true for all A or any A, then I would have done existential generalization. And so there exists X, R of X and negation irrat of X, which means this claim is true and the claim follows from the given argument. So to establish the given argument is true, convert the given argument into FOL, but we may not be able to simplify using FOL alone. So what we do, we convert them into a proportional logic through instantiation. Then make use of well-known implications and equivalences, which we have seen before, tautologies, equivalences. Simplify the ZOL expression. You are done with simplifying. Now you can generalize it so that you can verify, with the generalization you can see whether the conclusion has come out of this proof of correctness. and if the conclusion is derived, you say the argument is true, otherwise it is not. And in this example, what we have done is we have shown conclusion follows logically from the given argument. But there are case studies where that may not be the case. We will see that now.